What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Well, guys, we've been following extensively the situation that happened last week. I think it was Friday out there in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out where there was a shooting at Henry Ford Hospital in which this woman here, God rest her soul, 41-year-old Latricia Green lost her life. This woman was a mother, and she worked at the hospital where her ex-husband, who she'd been divorced from 7 years, who suddenly popped back in the scene as of a few months ago. Mario Green, age 53, I think, came back into her life by force, started harassing her, and wound up killing her after she wound up getting a restraining order on him that was never carried out. This guy viciously gunned this woman down in the hospital and then ran away and escaped with the help of a guy that's recently arrested, one of his friends, I guess, or family members. I don't know who this guy is, what his relationship is with this guy, but either way, reason why I'm talking about this again is another woman that used to date Mario Green stepped forward, and she told her story of how, you know, the relationship ended with her and him and all of the chaos that he created in her life. Guys, I want you to take a look at this, and you see the patternistic behavior in a lot of immature guys out here that are abusers. This right here is absolutely sick. Take a look at this.
We begin tonight with a woman opening up about her experience with the man accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife at the hospital where she worked.
Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us.
Mario Green is accused of killing his ex-wife, Latricia Green, at Henry Ford Hospital where she worked.
While the suspect went into hiding, we're now learning that his ex-girlfriend feared for her safety, thinking she could be his next target.
Well, tonight she is talking to 7 News Detroit reporter Rudolph Sinaida about her violent encounters with the suspect and raising awareness about domestic violence in her honor.
That ex-girlfriend is Katina McLenny. She says her and Mario Green dated back in 2001 when she was just 20 years old. She says she wasn't brave enough to speak up back then, but she is now, and she's doing it for Latricia Green.
What would you want to tell her if she was sitting here today?
I'll fight for you.
Katina McKinley has found her voice and is using it to stand up for someone who lost theirs, Latricia Green. Mario Green is accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit last Friday. That's a name and face Katina hadn't heard in decades until she saw his photo on the news.
My heart just felt like it dropped into my feet because I hadn't seen him since 2001.
Katina says her and Mario met through work when she was young, and they had a brief relationship. She eventually wanted out, and that's when he allegedly began following her, stalking her, even leaving notes on her car. Then it all came to a dramatic peak.
He followed me to a friend's house one day, and because it was a man, I guess that upset him, and that's what led to him chasing me down and making me get out of my car and putting a gun to my head because, as he said, if I wasn't gonna be with him, I wouldn't be with anybody.
Katina says she filed a police report that day and got a restraining order against Mario. He then never contacted her again. But Latricia wasn't so lucky. She was granted a personal protection order back in July, but it was never served.
This never should have happened to me, her, or anybody else. If a person wants to leave, they have that right to leave.
Jenny Hooper is the interim executive director over at First Step, a domestic violence and sexual assault agency in Wayne County. She says she's not surprised Mario is allegedly a repeat offender.
That is a pattern behavior. That is what we know about abuse.
Green was arraigned on Monday, along with an accomplice that was allegedly helping him hide out during that manhunt. Green pleaded not guilty, but Katina says she knows the truth of what happened to her and will do everything in her power to get justice for Latricia.
What do we do? Because this is happening too often.
In Detroit, I'm Rudolph Sinaida, 7 News Detroit.
All right, guys, you seen a young lady talk about her experience with this guy some 20-something years ago. And her restraining order kicked in, and he left her alone after that. That really makes me think that maybe if she got the restraining order and he was contacted like he was supposed to, maybe he would have left her alone too. She'd still be here. But you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Guys like this, you never know. I showed him in court. He looked goofy as hell. Here he is, some 10 plus years older than her, and he couldn't even manage a relationship with her. And he has a cyclical past of kicking sparks out of women's asses, or trying to. I want you to think about that. This is 20 something years ago. He had a relationship with this lady, and he's still doing that, stalking and bothering people. You would think in 20 something years of the same, being in the same position where women are fleeing from you, you would look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe I'm the problem. But you never get that. A lot of these guys that do this type of stuff, they're immature, and when they get mad, they don't think, and they lack self-reflection. And that's your proof. This woman's still crying after thinking about the psychological horror she went through. And that's the thing. When we think about domestic abuse, we mainly think about the hitting and the controlling and the grabbing and the physical aspect of it, which is horrible in itself. But the mental anguish that people go through, and a lot of times those psychological wounds don't heal, and all it takes is the right channel to go and dig those up, that you see the raw emotion of somebody that was victimized by somebody else. Dudes like this is pieces of shit to me. I was married by my grandparents. I was raised by my grandparents, right? Now, they were quite older than me, but I've never seen them. I've seen them have arguments, but I've never seen my grandfather in a threatening manner say something or do something psychologically or physically to my grandmother in the heat of an argument or a disagreement. Main thing is this, and this is why I keep harping on this. As a man, if somebody's making me mad enough to where I want to hurt them or hit them, or I can't get through to them for whatever reason to get them to stop or see something my way, and it's a continuous thing and it's like messing up the relationship or me, I will leave that person alone. And that's the thing. How hard is it, ladies and gentlemen, to leave somebody alone? People tell you, I don't want to be with you no more. And all of a sudden it's ending in a death sentence or you getting your ass beat, whether you're a man or woman, because nowadays women are just as vicious as men. When they find value in you and they don't act on that value, or they try to control what they deem as valuable of you, and they don't want to see you with nobody else, so they go by resort to any means necessary to keep you in their grasp or under their control. It takes a certain type of dude to do this type of shit. And these type of guys that you usually see, like I said, they lack self-reflection and they're children at heart, and they throw man tantrums. And all be damned that according to wake of that. This should have never happened. Obviously, this guy is scared to go to jail because he left her alone because he knew it was a risk he could go to jail. But for some odd reason, this guy went into this place in the heat of passion. I don't know why you still have passion after being divorced from somebody for 7 years. And goes up in there and kills this woman at her job. And this is the thing that's crazy. It's not the first time he was at that job. He was at that job, I think, a couple more times where they threw him out or she wouldn't see him. So it ain't like they didn't know who he was. He was some masked gunman. He came in there straight faced with a gun in his backpack, premeditated. You know what I'm saying? Basically with an ultimatum in his own mind. Either she talks to me or I'm going to kill her. Or if this thing goes the way I want it to go, I won't pull the gun out. Either way, the girl is dead. She was living her life, built a new life for herself. Why the fuck couldn't you? Now that you all up in the justice system, they giving you due process. You getting up there with your defense lawyer. They always tell you to lie in the beginning. Not guilty, motherfucker. They got you on camera running away. And your bitch ass boy helped you. What kind of man helps another man that kills a woman? His ex-wife. You helped them get away. Now you caught up in it. You 54 years old, bro. I'm talking about the guy that helped him. And here you are, caught up in the mix. Stupid shit. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. They need to stop fucking around with this shit. Hard-headed motherfuckers like this need to always get it. Take them outside and show them the goddamn flowers. Stop playing around with this. Jail is not for that. Now, this guy, most likely, worst case scenario, or best case scenario, he gets life in jail and he still gets to live while Latricia Green doesn't. And other people that was caught in his wake of love or childlike passion got all of these psychological wounds that are never healed. All because they came across this guy. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.